Look at this tweet here from the IOM, that's the UN's migration organization. Look at this here. The use of excessive violence, yet again, they say, in the senseless loss of life amid a lack of action to change a system that so often fails to provide any degree of protection. They're not pulling any punches here. So let's take you through what has led to this really strong tone from UN spokespeople, from UN agencies. We're talking about a boat that was intercepted by the Libyan Coast Guard with around 70 people on board and brought back here to the city of Coms, roughly 120 kilometres down from Tripoli, which of course is the Libyan capital. Now, when this boat was being disembarked, the UN has said that 3 migrants were shot and killed. 2 seemingly instantly, another one killed on Tuesday. Now, the report goes that they were trying to flee the centre. They were being brought back to Libya after having tried to cross the Mediterranean. We know this is the peak of the attempts to cross the Mediterranean. We've seen it year on year. The UN saying these migrants were shot in an altercation with no answers from the Libyan authorities. We in the Cube have reached out and had no success in contacting either the Libyan Coast Guard or the Libyan government. But let's give you another sense about why the UN are now saying no one should be brought back to Libya regardless of the circumstances. This is Libya on a different map. It's a conflict map. It shows you where the borders actually are between the area controlled by the UN-recognised government and this area here controlled by General Haftar, who is considered by the UN, by the EU, as a rebel. Now, the EU funds the Coast Guard operated by the Tripoli government. That is the very same Coast Guard the UN is now saying is acting in a way that is unaccountable. And in fact, they've gone as far as to say EU support for that government's Coast Guard should be stopped until there is a process of accountability for what has happened. This is what Charlie Yaxley of the UNHCR told me.
We can no longer afford to ignore what's happening inside Libya. We need to take greater steps to ensure that nobody is returned there after being rescued at sea, and greater action is needed to improve the human rights situation in the country. Any support that is given by other states to Libyan entities must be made conditional on an improvement in the human rights situation there. It must be monitored to ensure that's happening, and if it does not, such support should be halted.
So 3 migrants shot and killed. They didn't die at sea. They died when they were brought back to shore. This tone here from Safar, another UN spokesperson here, really summing it up. How many more lives need to be lost for Europe to act? We've reached out to the European Union. The European Union's agencies that work with the Libyan Coast Guard had no answers from them or the Libyan authorities.